When you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chest.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
No. Oh. Here we go now. 3-19.
On second down, Kamara. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks. Setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? But if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. Dante Moncrief, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Boom, land it. Boom.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They'll run it here with Hunt. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On the run, this is Hunt. And an alley to run. Look at the spit. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 66 yards for him on the ground. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They run with Hunt. And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Set! 319! 319!
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now a handoff. Here's Camaro. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hot, hot.
They'll drop to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
Try to pound it in, Camaro. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hot! Hot!
They'll set up to throw. He may try hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run. This is Hunt. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Hunt. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Now it's Wilson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. On 3rd down, it's Hunt. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Hunt. And an alley to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, look at 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken at the 37. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now. The field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
0, 19. 0.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. There's Wilson to throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this 1st half of play. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now it's Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Gotta go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Timmy Jernigan continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it here. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Gone!
Back to throw here. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Vikings! Sammy Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Bears on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Bring it. Bring it. Yes. Leopard. Leopard.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Lucky 56.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is taken at the 15. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now?
And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there at 22.
Let's go.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. Then he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Go,
They come out here in the eye. Here's Wilson. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his second touchdown of the night. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a... slide. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Flush to his right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now a handoff looking right. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down. That's Hunt, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Watch him now, Barney.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Being chased out left. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And down he'll go at the 25. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Watkins that time, and it's 3rd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll drop to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
A bullet throw, but incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
4 down.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw here. Going deep for Moncrief. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Bears on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Detroit!
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll set up to throw. Going deep for Moncrief. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going deep for Moncrief. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.